I'm only mad that the walk to park is the only way you're going to be getting these good views, because once we're inside, you're not going to be seeing these two coasters that much. Now, if only I could get test footage of this guy going right now. That's the cool one. Right inside the park entrance. Close enough. God, I forgot that's a downward spiral. That thing is intense. And then he goes back inside the park. So if you guys couldn't tell from that B-roll footage just now, we are here today at Six Flags over Georgia, down in, well, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. You guys know where it is. Because I haven't been here since I was probably in college, maybe a little later. I think I remember having 2 visits, but it's been easily a decade and a half since my last visit here, and I cannot wait to check out all new things. We're actually heading right now to the brand new Hotness coaster for the year, which, oh my god, hold on. They got all the guys out. We got like 4 of them right now. Cat guy, and bird guy. 3 birds and the cat chasing a bird. That's how it works. And Bugs coming out to join the squad. What up, Bugs? But yeah, I'm just gonna try and rope drop straight to Georgia, not surf for Gold Rush, I think it's called now. Because even though I do have Fast Lane, that thing is not on Fast Lane, obviously it's a new ride. That's on Fast Lane. We're gonna get plenty of rides on that boy. But unfortunately, low capacity looking boomerang coaster means it's probably gonna have a long line, so I just want to get on that thing right away. And like I said, I do have Fast Lane, so we'll get plenty of rides on this boy later. And down the hill and around all the kiddie sections, we have the Georgia Gold Rusher. The park's due for 2025. 2024 is supposed to open. Don't worry about it. It happens. Roller coaster, which, look at this thing. It's like a big W. We'll get you a better view from the bridge. And it looks like it just opened. And here we go. We're going to be one of the first trains of the day, which is actually freaking awesome. Playing successful. We're walking back to the queue. We got some nice theming here in the valley. Nice little watermill thing. I guess panning for gold. This is Gold Rusher. Go under the bridge. Let me show you some stuff online. This line is hilarious. So the entranceway. Literally just a straight shot. All the way down. Lacey Smith's rock work around the ride. These lanterns, I guess, would be nice at night. However, question mark, could we get some shading on them? I know it's the early season thing, but like, this is Georgia heat. Have some shading on this would probably be nice. Switch. Do it for the summer. More theming. Theme. And the ride itself is a big W. So about to get on. See what happens on this infamous surf coaster wannabe. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm gonna get on the mine train. This is such a good vantage point that we just got from the line. I swear to God, this was seconds after our last clip. I literally will things into existence. Yeah, first ride today. Half an hour later, and I'm literally first in line. Enjoy your ride. Oh, goes that way. my god, the floor moves!
Welcome back, y'all. I hope you had a blast on this here ride.
My turn. Alright, I just got my first ride. That was pretty fun. I will say, my personal car, we got 0 spins. Oh no, it didn't spin on a spinning coaster, but like, for an airtime freak like me, that was fun. The airtime hill in the middle, and the 2 spikes on the end gave some decent floater, especially once the launches got going. And the launch, especially after the first one, that first launch goes pretty punchy. Very fun ride, not too forceful outside of like, oh no, punchy launch. But I mean, this is designed as a family ride, so it's gonna be a lot of people's first launch coasters, a lot of people's first big whatever things. And that sense is really good. It's a simple attraction, but a simple attraction that gives you some punchy launches and a lot of floating airtime, a lot of hang time on those spikes. Definitely approve. I'll have to come back later. Hopefully that won't be too bad because I got 0 spin on that thing and I want to see what happens when I spin on it.
Dude, I wonder if this one.
I guess I'll say that the one benefit of my car not spinning was because I was front seat, you get super close to the end of that spike on the final launch. And once again, a lot of hang time, a lot of float, a lot of speed on this thing. So it is a really decent ride. Speaking of good rides though, my reservation's time up for the RMC, so we're gonna head back there. By which I mean I'm heading to some B&Ms while I wait for my Daredevil reservation because apparently Twisted Colossus or Twisted Cyclone, that's what it's called, it's Twisted One, decided to go down. Six Flags Days, everyone. Let's go ride some B&Ms. This year, Goliath got a sweet new blue and silver paint scheme from the boys at Bainham, along with several other rides here at the park. And maybe not quite as new, but new for me, the entrance now goes through a locker section, so make sure you put yourself away in lockers. Hair check. Not as effective when I had hair up there, not down there. Going back to the ride later, I am happy to say Goliath definitely still got it. Those last few hills, nice pull on them. Like, I won't say it's really ejector, but it's like the kind of pull you up and then float airtime. I guess it's kind of ejector. But this thing is all about the turnaround. It's all about that huge double helix spiral down the lake. Because, first of all, nice pop into it, which, once again, airtime. And that airtime continues until you are already sideways, at which point you just get not quite blackout G's, but it's strong. It is strong, that downhill spiral. And it reminds me actually of King Cobra a little bit. So, love me some Goliath. Probably still one of my favorite B&M hypercoasters. Oh Lord, it do be steampunk time. Good thing it's only like one ride back there, the big pendulum that you can't see here by the sign. There it is. I do hope that they expand this area sometime in the future though. Last time I was here, it was Thomastown kiddie section train thing. And as you can see, look at all this. That is a lot of prime real estate that they can work with. So hopefully they can put like a coaster in here or just a couple flat rides or something. But this could make a nice area back here in the back of the park. And not just a single pendulum ride.
Oh my god.
And this is why I always get fascinated at Six Flags. If you want to help support me on the channel so I can afford to get flash lanes, yeah, drop me a tip on Ko-Fi. So funny story, from the merge point for Fastlane to the point that I got onto the ride, legitimately 1 hour. Like, my reservation for the Fastlane I made for Twisted right after that, it's already ready. That's how long that took to get on the ride. That's good, I guess. I mean, you got your slightly past vertical drop with holding brake and some okay dives or whatever. I don't know. I gotta head over to Twisted now. That backseat ride, we have Six Flags Over Georgia coaster completion. There it goes. Twisted Cyclone here is one of the 2 RMC coasters here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. The other one will be coming at the end of the video. That is definitely more from White Whale for me because, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But this was the original one. It's a redo of one of the Cyclone clones. And once again, another thing coming up in the future, make sure you are subscribed to see that trip go live because I am planning to head to New York and go on the original Cyclone. Thank you, Motorcycle. That is great. Twisted Cyclone definitely feels like it's more on the shorter side of RMCs with its only 2-wheel laps, but what it has actually does pack quite a punch. From this first drop right here, which is, well, twisted. I know I had that twist there. And you got this double inverting turnarounds, like reverse boomerang kind of, I don't know what they call it. It's going straight into the big boy. Wave curve right there that got cut off by a station building, and it's a bunch of other tips and tricks all across the ride because, I mean, let's be real, it's an RMC, it's filled with weird inversions and hills and airtime and all that fun stuff. Short ride, can't wait to ride the other RMC in the area, but this will do, pig. This will do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report that 1990s Godzilla is hanging out in Acrophobia still, along with all the other things that you're not going to see today because it's not used as part of the queue because they're just doing the outside section or whatever. This is a dinosaur too. Look at that dinosaur. But this is one of the craziest drop rides in the world. Sporting a brand new paint scheme from Bainham. Actually opened up again today after I was refurb, so good luck me apparently. This thing, you'll see it when it comes down, but you basically have stand up on it. So you're not sitting down, you're actually standing like, well, standing coaster. And it tilts you a little bit down before you drop. So it gives you a really crazy sensation. It's not feeling tip anymore, but you can see the mechanisms right there. Was this the tip you forward before? Either way, stand-up drop tower. That's just the thing that happens. I didn't know I had a sports bar here, and a sick Western mustache. That's me being like 10 years. Hope you guys are ready for one of the best themed Six Flags dark rides in the world. Seriously, how did the chain get away with something this insane?
Marshall Billy Bob Fritter here saying, as you travel and go, keep your hands in the boat. And remember,
Chris, have you ever...
You guys may or may not have seen, depending on if I deleted that footage or not, there's a lot of improvement to Monster Mansion this year. Both redoing the ending sequence that used to have like a big horn, jump scare or whatever, to the whole Scary Marsh thing, that looked brand new to me. Good to see that they're constantly improving on one of the best rides. And yeah, go, if you're here, give Monster Mansion some love. You just just do it. Speaking of improvements for here, one thing I'm a little sad about is they're currently redoing the line for Blue Hawk right here. They basically just, they got this big entrance area and they cleared out so the vista is a lot better. You can actually see the ride and stuff. Last time I was here, this was Old School Vekoma that had Old School Vekoma issues, but since then it's basically been renamed. They've given their repaints. I think maybe some retracking, I'm not entirely sure on that. But they definitely have brand new trains, kind of like the ones I went on yesterday for the Boomerang at Carowinds. Make sure you check out that video wherever I post it. Look at this thing, it has a really cool, really interesting looking layout for Old School Vekoma. So I would have loved to have tried this out with the correct trains. And hopefully next time it'll be ready with this brand new cool looking line. Pink! What I can ride now though, which is the next thing that I have reserved on my Flash Pass, is the good Superman Ultimate Flight. This thing's been cloned at a couple different parks, but here's actually the park that it was designed for, where it has a bunch of train and tunnels and whatnot that goes through. Oh my god, the car's moving! And so is the floor, I guess. That's the old one. Behold, the most deliciously intense inversion of Pretzel Loop. I'm kind of hungry now. Probably my biggest Six Flags tip of the day is if you go with the quick queue, fast lane, flash pass, whatever it's called, just flash pass, right? I usually go with the low tier one, the one we have to wait in line. You're just basically picking a ride, and by the time that's your line to be ready is ready, instead of just paying $10 billion and just instantly getting on everything. Good way of doing that, you choose a ride, head that ride, and by the time you're there, it's probably time. And then once you get your thing scanned, like as soon as it's scanned, you select another ride on the other side of the park. That way you don't have to worry too long about your wait, and you can do some small stuff while you're waiting. So like right now I've got roughly an hour-ish before I have to go over there to Riddler's Mindbender, and I'm going to queue up for Justice League and take care of that. Always love seeing a ride as a national monument, even if it's not an Ace national landmark, because Ace just does coasters or whatever probably, but it's the carousel and it's on the top of the hill and it's kind of a carousel hill. Another big improvement since my last visit, and I think the last few years, is the Great American Screen Machine just got some new track on it, which will make the ride more tolerable, because it used to be one of the most painful airtime machines ever. But unfortunately I will not be attesting to this in person today, because holy spaghetti balls, is it busy a day. Once again, if you guys want to help support me on this channel so I can afford things like flash passes I got today, so I can report on more than 2 attractions in a full day, make sure to drop me a tip on Ko-Fi. Also, I can't believe I just got gatekept by the freaking car ride. No single riders. Rip me. Did you guys know that I apparently like classic sports off coasters? Even if this one was apparently newer since my last visit. I think like lost in train car or something. Why would they lower capacity? So a good example of the fascinating tip that I gave you guys a little earlier. Right now, I just scanned my pass to get on Riddler's Mind Bender. I'm in the back seat right now, so that's gonna be awesome in a couple trains. As soon as I got on, I scanned one in for Twisted Cycling way back there. It looks to have an hour wait, and in between getting over there and this, I should have about half an hour to get on another lap on Goliath. So that'll be 2 coasters right there. Then once I get there and clear that, I'm gonna set one over here for Batman End of Night, which seems a little counterproductive because Batman's right here. Why would I not do that? But it also has an hour wait. So between then and now, boom, hour to get over there and ride maybe 2 coasters. Boom, hour to get back over here, and that probably ends the night. Honestly, I don't know if it's because I haven't been on so long, or I don't know if I can compare it to whatever people complained about last year, but it didn't feel too bad to me for the quote-unquote neutering or whatever. I mean, it does look like the train might be 1 car shorter than it used to be, but honestly, still pretty forceful, like in this spiral right there, and loops, of course. And there was only really 1 bad trim on the ride that really stopped it right over there. So honestly, I think it's still pretty good. I mean, I'm not a local, so I don't know what everyone's been comparing it to with the whole it being neutered or whatever, but honestly, it still felt pretty good to me. Good old Schwarzkopf. Of course, Gotham in general has been plus up since my last visit. My girl Carly here has got a brand new paint scheme on her Tilt World. And it's looking like the lights on it. We got freaking Poison Ivy over here, Scrambler, which has a nice little, not animatronic statue, that's what they're called. And Catwoman's Whip is going. I don't know what that one's. Catwoman's Whip. They got these at some other parks. Rest in peace, though, to a ride that I believe literally only a handful of people have ever experienced. The Kid Flash rides that were added last year at Fiesta, Texas. They were officially closed as of about a couple weeks ago, so yeah, they've been staying not operating for the longest time. Basically only operated for a couple days and had a lot of issues from what I've been told. It's unfortunate though, like I want to be on the side of Skyline. I want to say they got potential. Obviously they've had some issues in the past, but like cool things like the single rail technology that not just RMC does, lighting package on it, I'm sure it looks really cool while it's running. And honestly, with coasters this size and scale, if they figure out whatever their issue is, I can see it's going into a lot of FPCs in smaller style park. Rest in peace, Kid Flash. Would have been great to have been one of like maybe 80 people that rode this thing. Not complaining about getting front seat on one of the world's last stand-up coasters. I'm just wondering why they're doing 1 train ops on such a complex loading procedure. I mean, being on completion or whatever, I will say, but the stand-up myth or whatever, one easy thing that they can do this is just give it the floorless treatment. There's been a couple other coasters that they've said, okay, we don't like stand-up coasters, they're annoying, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Take off that train, retrofit it for a floorless train, boom, new hotness, and it actually has a fun little layout that would be pretty cool for a floorless coaster, so easy fix if you want to fix this ride and not have to stay up coaster anymore, but it's cool. It's iconic.
Oh yeah. Enjoy the ride. Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed your ride. Once you're ready to let go and definitely stop, you may push down, pull up.
So bad news, Batman's no longer available on Fast Pass, so I think the line's too long for today. Good news, we got one reserved for Goliath, and honestly, this doesn't look too bad right now. Probably get another lap on this while I wait. Look at all this Fury C2 time theming. It's like we're still in Carowinds or something. So my final verdict on Twisted Cyclone is I think it is a front seat ride, if only for this thing. The rest of the rides, you pretty much get equal forces pretty much anywhere else that you sit. However, like I said, that wave turn, you get a lot more pull on it on the front seat. So front if you want pull on the front, otherwise it doesn't matter too much. Also, I haven't pointed this out yet. Look at this. There's a little bit of theming on the infield, and that's kind of cool. I swear, this is literally the same shirt I have for New Texas Giant. They just replaced with Twisted Cyclone. Look at that. Going over a few things I didn't have time for today because, oh my god, this place is packed. We got the dollar hung bologna sandwich mine train, which is, well, an aero mine train. Nice sprawling layout you saw in a couple different shots earlier. 3 lift hills, and a nice little finale back there in the old Blue Boy, which you cannot see. But like the Texas one, it dives underneath the water and does a little loop-a-doop. Actually, we got a couple minutes before we ride. Sure. Ride your local line train. Probably last thing I didn't really talk about is their kids area, which is divided into Bugs Bunny Boomtown over here. Got a nice little playground and a couple of rides. I like the truck things. Like there's a little truck ride around thing in the bottom that's kind of fenced in by the Dollar Bologna. And the slightly newer / redone DC Super Friends area, featuring a couple rides. Not only the Flyers over there, would always get that Flyers, but they have Joker's Funhouse, which is a unique little chance coaster that I would love to show off if I have more time. Also, Fusies, I'm sorry, when I was riding on Bella just now, it looked like Gold Rusher had a decently small line, so I probably could have got on it again and said I'm ending the day the same way I started. But like I said before, I got a reservation on Goliath, and we're gonna end the night off right. Or maybe I'm gonna run over the Gold Rush real quick, I guess. Still, best B&M Hyper, besides maybe Mako. It's been way too long since I've been down there. I literally willed things into existence. The second I stop recording, I start going. The second I stop recording, I start going again. There he goes, closing the line.
Lighten back up, you can't even tell.
Friday night loading right here. Just barely missed it. Nope, just doesn't do the hair thing anymore. Not gonna lie though, I almost just got Coaster Studio there at the end. It's the fact that I was walking up with my Flash Pass and they closed off the Flash Lane line as soon as I got there. So I just missed out on that ticket. But I just barely had enough time to make it into the standby line before they got to start closing off. So I got my last ride in, almost missed it. That said, cannot think of a better way to end the night than on one of the world's best B&M hypercoasters. And until I get back down to SeaWorld Orlando and ride Mako again, because I feel like that was supposed to be one of the good ones. All sorts of airtime, floater, ejector, whatever you call it, and that turnaround is like the best part of the ride. One thing I want to highlight real quick as I walk out is just how the merch is. I know that with Cedar Fair and Six Flags merging, a lot of things are probably about to change, but one thing I hope happens is that they start adopting Cedar Fair's ability to merchandise parks and stuff, because all this DC and Looney Tunes whatever stuff is cool or whatever, but if it's everywhere in every single shop and I can just get this kind of stuff anywhere else at not theme park price, why would I want to buy it at theme park price just because I went to a theme park? That's all I'm saying. Just get all the cool ride merch. We don't need to have 10 bajillion Wonder Womans or Joker. Six Flags, please adopt Cedar Fair's merch style and just advertise stuff that's actually in the parks, not just your characters that you own. That right there, that's the good goods. We have a pop of floater airtime that goes right into this downhill spiral, and kind of like on King Cobra and I guess the other Togo stand-ups, you actually are floating out of your seat until you're already sideways. So it's a really cool sensation, just that alone. but the fact that it's also a really tight, undulating downhill spiral means that you do get a decent amount of near gray out G's on it. So pop-up airtime into a strong downhill spiral leading into the second half of nothing but airtime. There's so much floater injector on this thing. This is like peak hypercoaster. That's what I'm gonna say. Also, I guess I should mention the gimmick that this whole section is outside the park, so that's cool. You just start in the park and you go and you turn and you're outside the park, and then you do the big turn on the lake and you go and you turn again and you go back into the park. Gimmicky, but I don't care because the whole ride is amazing. So that's going to end part one of the last day of the Redemption Tour. That's a weird way to phrase things. Here at Six Flags Over Georgia, where I got on about 16 rides today, which is okay-ish considering everything had an hour-long wait at least. And it's all thanks to me getting the Flash Pass, so it's a Flash Pass. So if you want to help support me on the channel, make sure to subscribe. And maybe drop me a tip on Ko-Fi so I can afford that kind of stuff. This is probably the only thing I didn't get on that makes me a little sad, because even though it is a Batman clone, it is the Batman clone of all time, apparently, and just like the most forceful thing ever. Overall though, decent park. I mean, they have Goliath and Twisted and a freaking Schwarzkopf, so it's good, and I did enjoy the Georgia Gold Rusher. That's a solid addition to the park. Anyways, head to the car now. It is dark, and I'm about to make it nice and late with a Thanos Snap for some bonus content. Those of you that stuck around till the end, congratulations. The answer is Atlanta has a second big bad RMC here in Fun Spot. I've actually been to this park a couple times before, so if you want to see footage of general park stuff, make sure to check out that video. But this thing has been my white whale. Each time I came down here, it's been closed for some reason, and today, not so much. We get to actually ride one of the world's best RMCs, apparently. Everyone loves this thing, I don't know why. What's this? Actual theming in the line? For a coaster at basically a go-kart track? That's crazy. Just got first ride, we're in back seats. I see the vision. I understand why everyone ranked this thing way up there on their list. Let's say about this thing. Let's do reverse camera quick. That first inversion right there, that's my go-to. The really cool thing is you went up it, you kind of float one direction and just yanks you the other way into the actual drop. That was insane. Of course, the Zero G stole. I was talking about Outer Bank turns earlier in the video with the Twisted Cyclone thing. This one better. This is that, but if it yeets you at like 10 billion miles per hour. And this is kind of airtime. My favorite element from Phoenix is on this ride. The double up, double down is actually on this thing, and you are flying. I'm gonna say the Phoenix's is better just because the whole sensation of floating higher and higher and higher and higher in each part of the element. But I mean, you still got it here. And like I said, you're going 10 billion miles per hour on this, 64 miles per hour, whatever. I have to go to the other side to talk about the rest of their layouts. Okay, I kind of lied. You cannot get a good shot of the turnaround from inside the park. But after this thing, you dive right into a barrel roll, which you go super fast through, into kind of like a trick track, full helix turnaround. And then you end things off right here with the quad down. You guys saw that lightning rod had quad down. It might be better, I don't know. I haven't been on lightning rod in a couple years. I've heard a lot of reviewers say that this thing murders you. I was fine personally. I know it was just better in the front, but I was fine personally. From start to stop, there is not a dead moment on every first one. I 100% see the vision of anyone that ranks this thing. Coming up for round 2, this time I'll actually show off the station. We got banners. That shows off before. There's a lot of cool banners and stuff in the station. Front seat time. Just gotta show off the front of the train real quick. Cool front was cooler, I noticed while getting on. There's a bunch of decals on there. The legends are true. That's all I can say after riding this thing a couple times. That, and I'm sad that I only bought a couple tickets for this because I'm gonna have a 7-hour rainy ride back home in just a moment, so I can't stay here too long. But absolutely, I understand the vision on everyone that's hyping up Air Force One now. And I'm so sad that it's taking me 3 minutes to ride this thing. Please get other people in the park. That'd be great. I want to get some test footage of this thing, but it's impossible because I'm one of a handful of people here. I'm going to wait around and see if anyone rides this in a couple minutes. What I can say is I think this is one of those where the ride footage speak for themselves. Look at... Do we just have both of them? Hey, the people on the ride. Yo. Yo. Where's my solo ride? That's not me. There's my solo ride. Whatever. These, just the expressions on here, that should show everything that you need to hear. A couple other things while I'm here / waiting for hopefully anyone else to show up and ride this thing so I can get some good footage of it. Once again, I did do a previous visit, so make sure you check out the video for more detail. Really cool facade here on this ginormous arcade. There's a couple of attractions inside there, like a little maze and some bumper cars. I love me some Wild West theming, it's always good. And once again, Area Force. One of the inversions just goes way over this thing, so really cool close encounter there. You got a set of flyers, those are always fun. Looks like some people actually riding right now, awesome. More people come to this park, please. That's what I'm trying to say. It's really close to the Atlanta area. If you want to Six Flags, just come here too. You get a couple credits. You get Area Force 1 and a couple other rides. Then one of my personal favorite things is this swing around here and this carousel actually were brought over from Coney Island when it closed. Not Coney Island, New York, not the one I'm going to eventually, but the one in Cincinnati that was the reason that Kings Island exists and the park that I originally worked at for about 5 years before doing anything else. So these two hold a dear place in my heart, especially the carousel I operated a couple times. This was that after I left the park, but good to know that they have a home. I would love to find all the other Coney Island rides at some point in time. So if you know where any of them, make sure you comment down below. Hurricane back here is actually a nice little hidden gem, which is one of the larger high milers. There's only a couple of these in the world because most of them are kiddie coasters, but there is a decent amount of airtime on this thing, especially the double dips towards the middle of the ride. Make sure while you're in the area, don't just ride Air Force 1, this is worth a visit too. And speaking of rides from other parks, this, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head where it came from. I believe the Myrtle Beach Pavilion, the small park that was there before. All of the Fun Spot parks inherited some of the rides this year. So I think this is the only one they got, which is just another SBF chaos kind of ride. I ran on the one at the island in Pigeon Forge once. They're pretty fun. Something golf theme, I don't know. Then last thing I want to show off here while I'm walking around Ride Graveyard, by the way, always cool when they show up these workhouses like this. You see a couple of train cars from the other train of Air Force 1 being repaired. Another view of the Hurricane, of course, from up here. And I believe this used to be an old go-kart track. Not entirely sure on that, but I do believe that used to be an old go-kart track or a mini golf or something like that. I said go-karts. Look at this. Of course, this place used started as a go-kart place, so they have a couple of these big roller coaster spirally go-karts. You got this big one, which is like the main one, and there's no one over there you can't see as well. I'll have to get a shot from the other side. So they still got 2 big go-kart tracks. These are always good. I mean, I was born and raised on Scottsdale, so if I ever think about that, I'll just go to Mount Olympus. Get another ride on Cyclops, that thing's awesome. But always good when these places have these giant go-kart tracks. There's a lot of them here in this area between this and Pigeon Forge. Okay, I lied, there's more than 2 go-kart tracks. This one's more of a speed thing. It's got a nice little hill in it. That looks like this is probably the KD one, I'm guessing. Yeah, that looks like more of a KD one, just a couple curves. And that one is the other, not quite as curvy, but still has a couple of hills and a bridge and fun stuff, blue track. Also Area Force. Have I mentioned Area Force is here? Come here and ride this coaster. Look at that. That is beauty. That you go over like 10 million miles per hour. Sorry, I had to put one more in. I do like that they have these charge kiosks, so you can come in here on your own and basically just select to put any amount on here. Like you get better value if you do like $20 or $40, or single rides are 7 and 12 depending on what they are. And you get these cards which you could basically keep forever. I actually have 2 more of them at home because I'm stupid and forgot to bring them here knowing that's coming to the park. Well, you can do that, or you could of course get a all-day fun card thing. Also, here's some arcade games. I'll go back to Area Force. We're getting one more ride in. Quick shout out to this area for infield here because it used to be an old mini golf course. You can still see a little bit of theme back there. So technically speaking, Fun Spot does own this land in case they ever want to expand. This is prime real estate right here. Pretty decent amount of stuff in this chunk. If not another coaster, like, I don't know. They already got a big coaster, probably just gonna put some flats in here or whatever. Point is that they have room to expand back here. And if not, there's already some pretty cool theming. So, final verdict after 3 rides. As a backseater. I mean, really, you can't go bad anywhere. It was good in the front, good in the back, but I think it was just a little bit more forceful in the backseat and really accentuate everything. So we are gonna say backseat ride on this one. Do it for Fun Spot in Atlanta and the whole redemption tour. All I'm gonna say, Six Flags over Georgia didn't need to be redeemed that much, mainly just a couple new rides since I've been there last, and it's just been so long because every time I try to come down there I can't do it. So I'm gonna say redeemed. A little sad I couldn't go on Batman this time, but otherwise really good park. Here, my redemption is literally this ride. The fact that it's been closed both my previous visits. So Fun Spot, absolutely redeemed. Absolutely come ride Air Force One if you have not already for some reason. This is probably going in my top 10. I'm gonna have to redo that a little bit. Fury might go in my top 10 somewhere. I'll have to think about that, but this absolutely is gonna be like one of my top tier RMCs now. Everyone, if you're in the Atlanta area, I can't stress this enough, it's like half an hour from Six Flags maybe. Come down here. You can spend a couple minutes just to ride this ride if you're just riding this ride, but support the rest of the park because you should. Ride Air Force One. It's good in the front. It's amazing in the back. How did RMC do so good at this small of a park? All I'm gonna say, no, that's not all I'm gonna say because it's the outro. All I'm gonna say is if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and make sure to subscribe if you are new. And if you want to help support me on this channel so I can afford to do trips like this. So I'm driving 7 hours to get down here, doing a couple parks, all that fun stuff that it all goes to. Drop me a tip on my Ko-Fi. But until next time, Georgia has been redeemed. Carolina has been redeemed. I'll be doing another huge trip in the next month, so make sure you're ready for that. And always, embrace the infinite. Show Air Force once more. There it is. Look at that. That is beautiful. That Outer Bank is beautiful. If you made it past the outro, congratulations. This is the angle of the turnaround for Air Force One. That's impossible to record from inside the park. You see, we got the arcade roll, big turnaround that has like boom boom, which is awesome, and another barrel rolling into the quad down. Super insane. You go at like max speed during this thing. Also, there's a lake in this park, which would have been cool because they used to have a freaking seated flyer zipline thing, whatever you want to call it, but that hasn't operated in years. Here's the lake though. Here's some trees. Here's a nice view of the park being scenic or whatever. There's my car. That's over there somewhere. I don't know. Don't dox me. I'm just glad that there's some cars here in the parking lot. Come to Fun Spot. Come support this place. It's awesome.